Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
yes,
we
I
can
can
hear
hear
you. Good evening.
Good evening. You're welcome. Okay, we'll be starting in the next 5 minutes.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, you're welcome. We'll be starting in the next 5 minutes, please. Hello, good evening all.
Yeah,
Okay,
good evening.
yeah, we are starting.
Good evening,
tonight.
Victor.
Good evening,
Good
sir.
evening. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, we are all welcome to tonight's class. I really want to appreciate us for our time. Okay, so we'll be looking at the topics that have been posted on the WhatsApp group this evening. So we're looking at data analysis is what we are going to learn. I believe in the next 4 weeks, we will be able to generate dashboards, okay, for if maybe for ourselves or for the offices or the place of work that we find ourselves. All right, so I really want to appreciate us for joining us this evening. Okay, so my name is Victor Edet. I'm a graduate of the University of Port Harcourt, mechanical engineering, and even if I've never worked as a mechanical engineer, all right, and I've actually been working as a tech support or programmer and the rest of them, but basically everything all my life has just been around the tech industry. Okay, so I'll be exposing some or teaching us. So, and then at the end of the class, I will also release or send to us the slides that I'm going to be using for this class. Okay. I'm based in Port Harcourt. I believe I know some of us here are not in Port Harcourt, and we're still expecting some persons to also join the class this evening. Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen right away. I'll be sharing my screen. Okay, I hope we can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. We can see it.
Okay.
Yes, we can see it.
So data analysis masterclass with Victor Edet for the next 4 weeks. All right, so today I want to believe that we might have seen some of these charts either online or on the news or somewhere else, right? Okay,
Yes, please.
let's respond so that, okay. So this is all what we are going to learn. In fact, everything about, or let me not use the word everything about data analysis. Almost everything about data analysis ends up in the visualization aspect. Okay. Now, if you look at the first, by the top left, the report you have there is for campaign performance, okay, for different products, all right, campaign performance. And then if you look, the chart you have by the top right is for manufacturing. That is another report for manufacturing. And then the one below is for CFO. These are different charts from different organizations around the world. You also have the finance institutions, the banks and the fintechs. They all have their reports or dashboards. Okay, so by the ending of 4 weeks, I strongly believe that everyone that is part of this master class will be able to analyze data, and then come up with dashboards, reports like this. Okay, so what is data analysis? Data analysis simply is the process of defining objectives, collecting, inspecting, cleaning, transforming, and modeling data. Okay, that's just it. Data analysis, everything about what we do now has to deal with data. We can actually generate data from any source. So, but how do we analyze this data? And analyzing it has to go through a process. All right, so here we have, it's a process of defining objectives, collecting, inspecting, cleaning, and transforming and modeling data with the aim of discovering useful information, with the aim of discovering useful information. Please, just a minute. Someone from the group is asking a question via WhatsApp. I'm asking for a business email. Just okay. So with the aim of discovering useful information, suggesting conclusions, and then supporting decision making. Okay. So let's go further. Please, for Power BI, we are not dealing with Power BI right away. Let's just focus on what we are doing right now. Power BI, I'm going to drop another link where we can actually download it manually from the official website. Okay, so let's just please be focused. Okay, someone is asking me a question about Power BI. All right, I'm going to, after the class, I'll drop the direct link where we can actually download it manually. So that aspect, you may not have to need any business email or any email to download it. All right, so let's go forward. So now we have to define the processes. And then the first process we have there is the objective. We have to define the objective. So defining the objectives in terms of when you want to analyze any data, you start by asking question. So as a data analyst, or maybe one who is aspiring to be a data analyst, remember, anyone can be a data analyst. There is no actual career or specification that it's only people that did engineering or people that did any particular course in the university. Okay, as long as you can use the basic tools in analyzing any data, you can actually go into the career data analysis or data analyst. Okay, so defining the objective, you have to start by asking, what business problem am I trying to solve? Because you are analyzing the data. Why are you analyzing the data? You should be analyzing the data to solve a problem. Is it that ShopRite, I believe we all know ShopRite. We have ShopRite in Nigeria, all right? ShopRite may be having issues with sales. And I also know ShopRite does have data analysts, okay? So the data analyst, what if there's any challenge, and then it's being taken to the data analyst, the first question is, what problem are they going to solve? Right? What problem, before you analyze any data, what is the problem you're going to solve? And then the moment you get to know the problem or you've defined the problem, you need to determine which source of data will best help you solve it. So if ShopRite, for instance, is having 1,000 products, and then let's assume 200 products are in category A, and then another into 5 places, 200 into 5 places, category A to E. And then they discover that category D products are not making sales. Definitely, when you have defined the problem, you need to determine which source of data you will best, data that will help you best to solve the challenge. So if all maybe data A, category 1, A, B, C, and E is doing fine, and then the problem is on D, you would not have to source for data on A, B, C, and E. You will definitely have to source for data on D, because that's where the problem is. So remember, the process of data analysis, you have to define the objective. And then the moment you're done defining the objective, the next thing is data collection. Yes, we have asked the question of what the problem is, and then we now know where the problem is in the organization. So the next thing we have to do is to collect data. Now, data collection is the process of gathering data for use in business decision, strategic planning, research, and other purposes. Okay, you've known the problem, and then the next thing is to source for data. You collect data. Now, a key part of data collection is determining which data you need. All right, like I've just talked about category A to E. The problem is on D. So the key part of data collection is determining which data you need. Now, this might be quantitative, or you can call it numeric data, e.g. sales figures, or qualitative as well as descriptive data, such as customer reviews. If we have made purchases on some e-commerce websites, you will see that in some products, you will see reviews of customers that have either bought they have bought the product, and then you see their review on how their experience when they have been when they're using that product. All right. Most especially if you go to Play Store, you want to download some applications, you can as well check out for reviews to see other people's experience, what they've experienced while they use that, or why they use the application. Okay, so numeric data or quantitative data, which you can have as sales figures, or qualitative descriptive data, such as customers' reviews. And then all data fits into one of 3 categories of data collection. In data collection aspect, in the process of data analysis or analyzing data, there are 3 categories of data collection. All right. You have the first party, second party, and third party data collection categories. Now, for the first party data collection, data is collected directly from users by your organization. For instance, I'll still use ShopRite. Data analysts in ShopRite. Every first party data you're collecting, you collect it direct from your organization. Okay, you collect it direct from your organization. If you need data from sales, you need data from HR, you need data from logistics, that aspect, first party data, you get it directly from the organization. And then for second party data, which is data shared by another organization about its customers or its first party data. Now, some organizations can as well share data, all right? Most especially organizations that are in group, okay? So ShopRite may have other subsidiaries, all right, of ShopRite, and it may be called ShopRite Group, and then they have subsidiary 1, 2, 3. So those subsidiaries can share data with their sister companies, all right? And then apart from that, another organization can as well share data. And then another data collection category aspect, the third one, which is data party data, okay, which is data that is being aggregated or collected and rented or sold by organizations that don't have connection with your company or users. I'll give an example. 2 months ago, an organization wanted to do an advert, and then I was actually contacted to supply them with bulk numbers, all right, with bulk numbers. Now you can actually get bulk numbers, okay? You can source for bulk numbers of everyone living in Rivers State, in Lagos, in Abuja, in Delta, Edo, in the north. In fact, the whole 36 states, you can actually source for bulk numbers. And then you can actually get email addresses of individuals as well. So those information, those data fall under the category of third-party data. They fall under the category because it is being sold, the information, the data is being sold by another organization that does not have, I don't have connection with the organization that contacted me. I only sold, got the information, the data, and then sold it to them. So we should remember that in data collection, there are 3 categories when you are sourcing for data. First party data, which is the data you collect directly from your organization. Second party data is another data, or rather is data that is shared by another organization about its first party. Now you can find that in most organizations that are related. The word related, I mean, it's sisters organizations. And then third party data, which is data that is being aggregated. You can use the word collected, and then you rent them out. Okay. So we are moving forward. So now we'll look at methods of data collection. Methods of data collection. Okay, so now I've just listed few methods of data collection. Okay. Now after this, after the 4 weeks, I'm going to actually give us oops, sorry. Chioma said she can't hear and she can't join. Please, Chioma, you can use the Zoom link. You can use the Zoom link, please. Hello, please, can we hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. All right, so
Yes.
okay, okay, thank you so much. All right, so surveys is a method of data collection. Most times, like the past election in Nigeria, right? The past election in Nigeria, some persons or some organizations released survey forms for people to actually, like, questionnaires for them to just make comments or just to get feedbacks. All right, so survey are physical or digital questionnaires that gather both qualitative and quantitative data. So one situation in which you might conduct a survey is by gathering attendee feedback. Like I said, after the 4 weeks of this class, we will definitely have a survey form that will go around so that we can have a feedback of this class, so that it will now enable us to, okay, know how we can improve. All right, so survey forms or surveys is a method, one of the methods of data collection. Another form of data collection is transactional tracking. Transactional tracking. So each time customers make a purchase, all right, tracking that data can allow you make decisions about targeting marketing efforts and then understand your customer base better. So each time there's a transaction, all right, data can allow you to make decisions about the targeted marketing effort. And then often most e-commerce and point of sale platforms allow you to also store data as soon as it's generated. And then which makes it very easy, right, for data collection. Okay, so that's why it's actually good. Some persons, anyway, I don't know if they are still running a manual form of data collection, because I know the POS is now made available, and then some organizations, some sales organizations, or maybe some big stores do have this e-commerce website, all right, where people can actually make as a purchase of a product, just like you have the Jumia. All right, so transactional tracking is another method of data collection. Now we have defined the objective. All right, we've now collected the data. Now, because you are not the one that actually developed, or you're not the one that had first okay, so because as a data analyst, you're not the one that has the first hand in terms of the data, in terms of like filling. Just for instance, a survey, when you give people forms or to fill, some persons may make mistakes, some may not go according to the information that is being required of them to release or to give. So because of that, they may fill in wrong information. So what you now do is, the next thing in terms of the data analysis process is to clean the data cleaning. So every data that is being collected goes through the process of data cleaning. Even if the data is cleaned, you have to also check, okay? You have to check. So data cleaning or cleansing, can be called cleaning or cleansing. It's also referred to as data scrubbing. All right. So, sometimes if you want to have some things you want to clean some things that are actually dirty, you may have to scrub them properly. All right. So data cleaning or cleansing, also referred to as data scrubbing, is the process of fixing incorrect, 1, incomplete, 2, duplicate, or otherwise erroneous data in a data set. So if you have data that is being released for people to fill in their name, their email, phone number, their maybe date of birth, and then house address. Some may decide in where you have the field for name. Some may make mistakes and then fill in their date of birth where they have where they're supposed to fill in their name. So that is an incorrect way of filling the information. So you have to look out for all those errors. And doing that is under cleaning the data. You have to look out for incorrect, incomplete, duplicate, or otherwise erroneous data in any data sets before you begin to analyze. So if after you have you've defined your objective and you know the problem and you are trying to solve the problem, cleaning the data is also part of solving the problem, because if you don't clean the data, you will have wrong outputs. If you don't clean data, you will definitely have wrong outputs. And then don't also forget that human error is inevitable. We can't do without human errors. Okay, so most of the time, people in most data that is being released for people to fill, there you definitely find some errors on it. So you have to look out for those errors. And then data cleaning also involves in identifying data errors and then changing, updating, or removing data to correct them. Okay. Now the tasks includes in data cleaning, there are tasks. So you remove major errors. Duplicate, sometimes some people duplicate some Google Forms when it's being released. Some persons fill it twice. So you have duplicates and then outliers. So all of which are inevitable problems, like I've just said, human errors. So when collecting data from numerous sources, so you have to remove major errors. Data cleaning, it's will I say, is one of the hectic aspects of data analysis. Okay, one of the hectic aspects in data analysis, cleaning data. Imagine you're cleaning data of 1 million people, or let's assume the INEC, all right, the past election in Nigeria, you've been asked to clean the data. All right, so I believe almost all of us knew what happened during the election, the collation. So if you are to clean, it will take a very long time, right? Because of the whole lots of errors. So, and then another task in terms of when cleaning data is that you remove unwanted data points. Remove unwanted data point by extracting irrelevant observations that have no bearing on your intended analysis. So anything that will be irrelevant to the problem you're about to solve, all right, that will be irrelevant to the decision making, because your output will determine if a good decision will be made. All right, to output. So if, for instance, in Port Harcourt, we have SPA, and then there are products that are that are not selling, and then you also have the other ones that are selling. And then there's a mistake whereby you analyze, after analyzing, there's a mistake whereby you mistake the product that are selling for the ones that are not selling, and then there's supposed to be an inventory check one, and then there's the management is supposed to replace, okay, or to refill the products that are being sold. So if there's a mistake, it will cause definitely money will be wasted, because going to get products that are not selling and adding more, it's wasting money. So you're removing unwanted data points, extracting relevant observations that have no bearing in your intended analysis. And then another task in data cleaning is bringing structure to your data. Just like how we have housekeeping in keeping in office, we talk about housekeeping. Also in data analysis, there's housekeeping. So general housekeeping, that is fixing typos, layout issues, which will help you map and manipulate your data more easily. Now, all these I'm talking about, we will see it by next week. Our next class will be on Friday. So all this will begin practicals by next week, Wednesday. By next week, Wednesday. So we will see all this about housekeeping, how we can fix typos and layout issues. If you don't clean your data properly, it will affect the output result. It will affect. So filling in major gaps as well. As you are tidying up, you might note that important data are missing. Sometimes some data may be missing, so you can as well fill in major gaps once you've identified the gaps. So there are tools for data cleaning. There are tools for data cleaning that can actually help in cleaning data. Should, in case you're dealing with a big data, you're dealing with big data, there are tools that can actually help you in cleaning your data. For instance, we have OpenRefine. OpenRefine is an application. Okay, it's actually an open source. Okay, it's free. All right, so you can actually get to the website and then download it. It's free. You don't subscribe to make use of it. All right, so depending on the size of data that you are working with, so you can use OpenRefine. All right, so most organizations, most data and analysts, they use different applications. There is no specific application for data analysis. All right, there's no specific application for data analysis. Just like you have the word processing application, you have for Microsoft, you have Microsoft Word. There are some other applications, other companies that also have word processing service, just like WPS. They have their own aspect of word processing. And then also Apple has its own word processing application. So same thing as you have for data analysis, just like you have the Power BI, you have the Tableau, you have the Google Lookup. There are a whole lot of applications that one can as well use in analyzing data. Now, another tool for data cleaning is Power Query. Power Query is embedded, or you can find Power Query in Power BI. You can find Power Query in Microsoft Excel. All right, you can actually analyze with Microsoft Excel, but it's seamless and very easy to analyze data on Power BI. All right, so that's why we will be making use of Power BI. So Power Query provides a user-friendly interface for managing queries, adding or removing columns, joining tables, and much more. So by using Query Editor, you can either Query Editor or Power Query Editor, you can easily clean your data and ensure that it is ready for analysis in Power BI. Like I said, you can find Power Query on Power BI. You can find Power Query on Excel. And then another tool, I think this should be the last tool that I've listed. There are a whole lot of them. It's just that they're apart from the first one and then the Open, Refine, and Power Query, every other tool is not free. Okay, so you also have Wine Pure Clean and Match. Wine Pure Clean and Match allows you to clean, to dedude, that is to remove duplicated data and then cross-match data as well. And then it also allows one to all its intuitive user interface. You can actually clean data on its interface, all right? So all you need to do is you collect the data and then you upload it, all right? Every data analytic program application, you import data into them. You import data into Power BI, no matter what the data is. If the data is in Oracle, the data is in CSV, it's in SQL, it's in Salesforce, the data, you have it on R or Python. You can actually import them into any of these applications, and then you begin to clean your data. Even online, you can actually import live data, all right, which we will also practicalize as from next week, Wednesday. All right, so I think I'm going to stop here like we stated. So please, we're open for questions, please. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we're here.
Hello?
Yeah, okay, yeah. So open for questions.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. I just wanted to ask because I was
Your line is cracking, breaking, sir.
joined from the beginning. I lost 10 out of the teaching. So I don't know if there will be a clip. Well, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Can you hear me?
Very well, I can hear you, sir.
Hello?
I can hear you.
I'm saying, okay, better then. I'm saying if there will be like a replay of the stuff that you've taught us, because I was unable to join from 8:30. I lost 10 minutes out of the time.
Okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir, it's been recorded. So once we are done, we're going to drop the recorded file.
The YouTube link.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Okay, I can see Olajide. Please, you can go ahead with your question.
All right, thank you very much for the whole class, sir. My question is just on the clean of the data. If, for example, I'm going online I'm using any of these apps or any of the things you mentioned that we can use to clean data online, wouldn't they be also having access to the data that we're cleaning through their websites?
Now, you know, we will be using for organizations. For organizations, they don't, you know, I mentioned if you'll be using data analysts, any of the applications personally, or if you're using as you're working in an organization. So if you're working in an organization, what they do is that Power BI has the aspect where you subscribe. All right, I think that's Power BI services. Power BI services. So what they do is that they subscribe to Power BI, and then every data that is being uploaded for analysis is secured. Okay. So if you're working for instance, any of the Nigerian banks, they subscribe just like you have the Microsoft Office. I don't think any of us here, we subscribe personally. We only use the cracked version. But if you're working in an organization, you don't do that. For every official system, there is a paid version of Microsoft Office suite. Okay, so if you're also analyzing for an organization and you are being paid for you work on or you're consulting, you definitely don't use free versions. All right, because free versions, your data are not safe, it could be shared. All right, most times we don't actually read terms and conditions. Does anybody read terms and conditions here?
Nobody does.
Nobody does, right? I don't too. So the moment you're installing any application, you just click I agree, Abi.
Definitely.
Yes, and then you go on. So you don't know if on part of the terms and conditions, they are telling you if you're using our free version of application, we are going to share your information, your data. All right, so we don't also look at that. So that's why it's good for most of these big organizations, they subscribe to those software as a service or platform as a service. Okay, so Power BI has a Power BI desktop, which we can download. Okay, you can actually download it, and then you can use it for personal use. But if it's for an organization, you don't do that. What you do is that you subscribe. All right. So I think that answers the question.
Okay. Then one last one.
Okay.
Let's say I pay for Microsoft Office now. Would that subscription also cover for the Microsoft Power BI?
No, Power BI is part of Power Tools. They call them Power Apps. I think it's another aspect of in Microsoft suites. You can include them, including them. I don't think it's Microsoft 365 or 360. All right, it's you can actually include them in your package. So I've actually dropped the link where you can download the file, the application. I've actually dropped it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, sir.
So you can download it directly. You don't need to go through Microsoft App Store.
Okay.
All right, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. So more questions, please.
Sir, please, I downloaded it on an App Store, but it's asking me for a business email.
Yes,
I
I've just
logged in with my own person.
No, cancel it. Cancel that aspect, please. I've just dropped check on the chats. Okay, maybe what I'll do is that I'm going to drop it on the group. Let's please check on the
maybe
group.
you drop it on the WhatsApp group.
Yes, I've done that.
Okay.
I've done that. So you can download straight ahead and install.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So more questions, please. Data analysis is very easy. It's you enjoy it when you are, most of the time when we see some of these stuff online or on the news, we think it's a rocket science. It's actually easy as long as you have the right tools to work with. Okay. All right, so I'm expecting more questions, please.
Sir,
Yep.
hello,
sure.
good evening.
Good evening.
I'm just joining now. Like I had this lot of difficulties trying to join you. I don't know.
It's okay. I'm going to drop the